down, say you down. You gotta stand up the fight. Oh, you gotta stand up. Oh, you fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh, you
In person is so much more beautiful.
What's going on, everybody? This is Bunch of Bull Studio and
I'm Josh, aka MetaZookeeper.
TCG News and Reviews. And tonight we got my man E from E&Awarehouse on. What's going on, my man?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for being on tonight.
So first thing I definitely want to ask, just because we I started watching you and I instantly, it was like probably 2 streams and I instantly realized I was like, he's my kind of people. Like I can instantly tell like you're definitely my kind of person. And then you had hit me up about those glass pieces. And I was like, bro, I wish that I had the clientele around here to buy that kind of stuff because they were just so awesome. But how do you, I've heard that you've bought poster shops out and like what made you get into this kind of stuff and how has it blossomed as huge as it sounds that it has? Because I imagine it has.
Yeah, it's so I've always worked for myself since I was like 16. I opened up like a car shop and I had like back when like the Fast and Furious was a thing. We did body kits and all that kind of stuff. And then that just like evolved into so when Craigslist was first a thing, like day one of Craigslist. I know I sound old, but day one of Craigslist, I would post all the time like I buy Nintendo games, I buy Transformers, I buy sports cards, I buy Pokemon cards, like anything. And I would just be buying like all day long. And then I would go to flea markets and yard sales and estate sales and I would find stuff all over the place. And I
Now,
would flip it.
was this originally like from a collector standpoint, or was it always a flipping standpoint?
I mean, I find myself like collecting a lot of different things because I'm buying a lot of different things, and I love stuff. I love
Just both.
you know,
All in a
yeah,
bit.
like I'll get into like complete in box Nintendo games because I had that when I was a kid, or like I'll buy a huge collection of vintage toys or robots or whatever, and I'll stash a couple to the side. But I've really learned to not collect everything that I buy. But to get back to the question, so fast forward like 5-10 years, I deal with liquidators now, and when stores go out of business, I buy. So I did like 27 Toys R Us stores when they went out of business, and literally like went in and bought everything on the shelf, closed the doors, bought everything, and we resell that Amazon, eBay, website, everything like that. But recently I came into a poster business that went out that was in Boston in the 70s. And when paraphernalia was like illegal to have, I guess. So he closed. He had a head shop. He closed, moved to New Hampshire, Manchester, and did his poster business since I think it was like 76, 78. And I got a call like 6 months ago that he was going out of business from the real estate agent because he knows that I buy stuff. And I went there, and sometimes I'm like, I get fed so many bullshit stories like this is the greatest deal. You have to come see this. And I go there and it's like, I just wasted half a day for a bunch of crap. But this time there was like 120,000 posters, all really cool psychedelic stuff from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, rock and roll posters, originals, like still rolled up, blacklight stuff. And I'm like, what else do you have from this era? And he's like, let me show you this in the back room. He had cases of those ceramic and glass pipes that I showed you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want all this shit. I don't care if I can sell it. I love it. I want to display it. I'll find all my buddies own dispensaries, grow shops, own sites. So I'm like, this is my thing. I love this. I want all this stuff. So I buy stuff like that all the time. I take risks, and they usually work out. But you learn when you lose money, you learn more
quick.
than making money on something. And
Yep.
and I move from different things all the time. I love TCGs. I got into TCGs, so I've always been into TCGs and sports cards. But my first Collecticon was Orlando 3 years ago, and I was walking. I know you guys are buddies with Bailey, so I'm walking around with my son in Orlando Collecticon, and this guy comes walking over in this Akora jersey, and there's like Chinese lettering on it and everything, and I'm like, talk to my, and he hands my son a pack of Akora, or no, pack of Pokemon. I was like, oh, that's cool, thank you. So he comes around like 10 minutes later, gives him another pack of Pokemon. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this kid like a basketball player or something? He's wearing a basketball Bulls jersey, it looks like, but it was a Cora.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I got into Whatnot and started following him and jumping around to shows and just buying stuff, donating stuff, checking out the community, kind of put my name out there. And then I got on, and I'm here now.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And you're one of the types that, and I love it, is that you don't stick to like one or two. Like, you love to branch out and bring a lot of trading cards to life. Like, there's so many TCGs that you are, there's some days you'll have 3 different streams, and one ends within 5 minutes, the next one's beginning, and it's a whole different TCG. Whereas a lot of streamers, you'll see it'll be like Pokemon, and that's it. Or maybe Pokemon and MetaZoo. But you're like, yeah, nah, I got like 5 different TCGs over here. Why would I not show them all off?
Yeah, so I've learned to not. I've kind of scaled back and picked my 5-6 favorites now, and not necessarily my favorites, but like ones that I want to actually introduce to my customers, my core customers. Like, I don't want them to get in. A lot of my customers spend a lot of money. They're heavy spenders on whatever I'm doing, and I don't want to get them into something that's gonna fail. That I know that's on the way out.
Yeah, you're looking at the longevity of it.
Yeah, like I want them to buy it as an investment. I want them not only investment, but like I want them to be able to play the game and collect the game, and even there are some buyers that are just investors. So at one point in time, I was doing like 13 different TCGs.
Wow.
And it kind of got out of control. The amount of money I had to spend just to stock them and to pre-order them. But then the Kickstarters started piling up, and some of them never really made it. And then some made it, and then went away in 6 months. And it was like, damn, this is like a bad investment to just, the boom last year, year before that it was like you could throw down $5,000 and it could turn into 20 grand.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Easy.
Or maybe $2,000.
I remember the D23 or D23 Disney cards. Dude, I remember as soon as the news dropped about them and I got on eBay, and I was still able to buy a full set for, I think in total it was like $400, $500.
$400 to $700, yeah. Oh my god, kicking myself in the ass.
And I'm sitting there going, you know what? Maybe Friday I'll throw some money in the bank, because I prefer not to keep my money in the bank. So I'm like, I'll throw some money in the bank and I'll grab a set. By Friday, $10,000 for a set. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, that got nuts real quick. And I don't know if they're actually selling now at like the graded signed. I don't know if they're actually selling for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I haven't really paid attention to them.
Yeah, I haven't. No, I'm gonna do a quick.
But at one point, you could buy them and quadruple your money right away. Yeah, that was nuts.
You're not typing.
Yeah, I just noticed. So, talk about your green thumb collection, because I know it is crazy extensive.
Yeah, so the first time I saw that card, when I saw it on stream, I was like, that's such a sick card, because I'm a grower. I've been a grower for a very long time. Grew up, all my friends are growers. And I'm like, that's so sick to have a card. Dr. Green Thumbs, Cypress Hill, love Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
And, I got to know Phil a little bit. I've gone to almost all the cons, got invited to the after parties with him and stuff. And I even he let me bring my son to an after party at their house.
A full set sold October 22nd for 30 grand. PSA 10.
The D23?
Yeah.
Signed or not unsigned?
Unsigned.
Wow.
I wonder if that's, some of those comps are fake.
Yeah.
Some of those,
That's
there's only
the
one.
only set that I see that's sold. Here's another one, a set of 6 without the Mickey, because the Mickey was the other promo.
Yeah.
And this one sold in April for 18 grand.
That's nuts. They were just like, I think, I don't know if they were handing those out, but you could buy the booklet at the show.
Here's another set, October 1st for 21, well, 22.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's 3 comps so far.
I remember when they were 100 a piece. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I bought a couple on eBay for like
Crazy.
300 signed.
Nice.
And I sold them. I think I actually traded them for Cannabis to NYJ. He used to stream a lot. He doesn't really. He does just. I think he just does Lorcana now. Give me like $1,000 a piece for him. I was like, fuck yeah.
That second wave of Lorcana hasn't come out yet, right?
No. So, in order to get an allocation for Lorcana, you have to sign up and hold tournaments for Lorcana. And I'm set up to do tournaments for MetaZoo and Accor and stuff. But where I live, there's not a lot of people outside of Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon that really want to play anything. So it's kind of tough. Nobody was really coming indoors for that. So I couldn't show that I was actually signing up for tournaments, so I couldn't get Lorcana, which sucks. Yeah, because I want it so bad. But it's coming out soon.
See, I still have yet to really rip any Lorcana like that. I don't know what it is. The cards, to me, they don't like pop. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't capture me or make me feel like I need to get into it. Like other TCGs, whenever it comes to like some of the rarer pools, you start seeing the full arts. You start seeing the cooler foil patterns. Lorcana, it's just kind of like, all right, here you go.
Yeah, a subtle hollow or foil. Yeah, I've actually never ripped a Lorcana pack.
It's a beginner TCG to me is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like a Pokemon, like how when Pokemon base set Jungle and also came out for kids. It was like a basic game.
And Disney's going to wreck it eventually. Like they wrecked Lego and, everything else they touch. I feel it's going to be on clearance everywhere. It's going to be, 100,000 print run, 200,000 print run or more. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, because there's not too much more of like, unless they're going to just keep doing different variations of the same characters, there's not too much further they can go unless they wait another 5 years for more movies to come out.
I think they have a lot of characters if you take each one from each movie and then you add in variants.
Yeah, but they like kind of exhausted their main cast quickly
in the first set. Yeah,
it's like anyone that would like everyone that's normal or a common in the first set could have potentially been its own like hyper rare, for lack of a better term, in another set.
Held off on it. I don't know. I haven't opened any.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've seen the Japanese stuff being opened. Obviously, they don't want to pull that, Steamboat Willie, which is like what, 5K, 6K, maybe it's 3K now. Who knows?
What was that? The Wise Schwartz one?
Yeah.
See the Wise Schwartz
Disney 100.
Man, yeah, I love that. And then there's a couple different. They did a couple of different Disney 100s as far as companies. There was another one, I can't remember what it's called though.
Yeah, one day I was standing at Target and they had all the product there.
Yeah, Lorcana.
Yeah, I'm there for MetaZoo blisters, right? I'm standing there staring at it. I'm like,
It doesn't last though. It doesn't last more than a couple hours. At least in my area, it's gone. People are following the guy around, the MJ Holdings guy.
Dude, it's like that around here for sports cards.
Yep. Yeah. What about Hot Wheels? People crazy about Hot Wheels around there and Targets and Walmarts and stuff like that.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, I see it more so in people kind of like like I'm 32, so like around my age that are like, because I also have worked on cars. Like I went to Wyotech for high performance powertrains, build drag cars, drift cars.
Nice.
And like I see people hunting down certain like Fast and the Furious, Hot Wheels, stuff like that. And then my one boy, he actually had got the Civic that Hector drove and then took it to get signed by him.
Nice.
And all kinds of stuff. So I do see the Hot Wheels thing around here a good bit, surprisingly.
Every time I'm in Walmart, I see at least one or two minimum opened when I go down the aisle.
Oh yeah, looking for the super treasure hunt or whatever.
I don't know. I just always notice it.
I don't know.
I just assume it's a little kid that just pops it open, takes it.
It's a full grown adult. Most likely. Yeah, I've seen them line up, getting the fights and everything. They're opening up cases as they're getting like stocking the shelves. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, never got into Hot Wheels.
Me neither.
As an adult.
Yeah, say as a kid, I had a big collection,
Definitely
but
as a kid.
yeah, they ain't worth nothing now. They're all chipped up, beat to hell.
Yeah, you want ones from like the 70s. That's the hot stuff.
I wanted to. Oh yeah, okay. So I was gonna say, I know I wanted to ask something. You said that you were a grower. How did was that a family business thing, or how did that go about?
Basically, my buddies just all my buddies have always grown since I grew up, and then I started it. I tried it once, and it was awesome. It was incredible. It came out like mint, and it's very like I'm very stressful, busy all the time, and that's like my zen in the morning and at night. Like I actually love it.
So instead of a bonsai tree, you just got a bunch of weed trees.
Right. Right.
So was your first attempt at growing, was it like, the typical closet grow attempt, or did you like already have a room or something?
Yeah, I started in a couple tents and quickly grew to like a 500 square foot, 8 lights. Good stuff. I've posted some pictures in the Canada Discord a couple times. I don't know how much they like that in there or not, but
I would say I'd be posting sometimes too. So
yeah, you never know when Hoff's gonna pop out and have like a temper tantrum or a or his
how did the whole cannabis thing come about with you? Like, are you close to the guys before it even started, or did you just stumble upon it from Kickstarter?
Yeah, just Kickstarter, and I was streaming it a lot, and Phil approached me one day, and he's like, you always have a lot of people in your room, and you seem like you're a fair guy on everything, and you're not about the bullshit and the drama, and we just started talking a lot after that. Like, he calls me a couple times a week on the phone, and we just talk about just business. Like he's a businessman, I'm a businessman, I love the product. I love the idea. I think it's very unique. I don't see anybody else really jumping in, competing with it, and I don't think there will be. I mean, it's kind of like a niche.
They
niche
picked
TCG.
the best niche market. Like,
Yeah,
mint.
and the drama's been ridiculous. For him to stick with it, like I know him well enough by now that like I personally know that most of that shit is bullshit. Like all the stuff that went on and was said about it, and he was running away with the money. And at one point in time, I had so many people calling me like, jump now, you're gonna lose your shirt, you're gonna lose all the money, it's gonna like people like crying on the phone to me, like adults, like, don't do this, like one of the artists back then. And I'm just not about the drama ever about anything. Like if I see it in my own eyes that it's true, then I'll believe it. But otherwise, 9 out of 10 times, it's not true.
Yep, I exclude myself from any of it until it's like officially brought to light.
And now people come to me and ask me for advice on stuff like that. They're like, you stuck with it and you were right, and you didn't cave to the baloney and follow everybody else that was jumping because they heard that one person said that one person said that one person said that this was going to happen. And yeah, so Phil just has always appreciated that about me. And yeah, I go to all the cons, hang out with him. I drove to New York to the Comic-Con, hung out with him for a little bit there. And
I wish I'd have been able to make it.
It was cool. It was the New York Comic-Con's very busy.
Oh yeah, I went last year.
I had customers that wanted me to stand in line for Demon Slayer Crocs, and I was going to do it for them just because they're, one of my top customers.
Yeah, that's
awesome. I go there and there's like 300 people in line for a fucking $65 Croc because they can sell for 120. Yeah. I was like, yo, if you really want it, I'll buy it on eBay for you and send it to you.
It gets reckless. Like last year, I went and the person that was supposed to go with me ended up not going. So my wife was like, I'll go with you. So I go up, I take her. Day one, we go in. It's so hectic. By the time we get back to the hotel room, she's like, I think I'm just going to stay in the hotel tomorrow. Like she wasn't having it the whole rest of the weekend.
So much stuff going on. You guys go to cons during the year?
I have been trying to get out to more and more of them, but this coming con season, I'm going to try to get to as many as possible.
I mean, this year it felt like they were every month and a half. It was crazy, and I don't remember it being like that last year.
No,
or the year before, or the year before. I can tell you the North Carolina one is not really worth going to. The Texas one, I was very disappointed in the Texas one. I thought it was going to be like this big city and you're going to see, horses that walking down the street and stuff like that. It was the shitty city, one of the shittiest armpit cities I've been to. And I grew up next to a couple armpit cities. I grew up in Western Mass, right near Springfield and Holyoke, Hartford, Connecticut, all those. But yeah, so Texas wasn't that great. Orlando's good. Long Beach is really cool to go to. What else? Denver. I haven't been to Denver yet. I want to go to Denver.
Yes, I want to do Denver and I want to do San Diego.
Yep, the Comic-Con there.
Yeah,
that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yep. For Collecticons, Long Beach is pretty good. I'll definitely go back there. Orlando, every February I go to Orlando.
I wish they'd come to Pittsburgh. I wish they'd have a bigger presence, like some kind of TCG con in Pittsburgh, because we don't really have much of shit.
Yeah, they've got one I think they have one in the Midwest. It's more sports though. On the East Coast, it's like we have a little tiny shitty one in Manchester, New Hampshire, and then there's one in like Massachusetts, but it's tiny. It's like in a hotel. And then there's the New York Comic-Con, but yeah, nothing really comes around here.
That's my closest is driving 5 hours up to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely the closest.
But yeah, it's cool. So when I go to all these specifically to like So Akora wants me to always go to every single one that they're going to be at, and I like going, hanging out with them and promoting their stuff. And it seems like Cannabis is kind of always there as well, and MetaZoo. It seems like those three, they kind of all started at the same time, about 2 years ago. I'm a partner with MetaZoo. I've always been with Akora since day one, Cannabis since day one, and those are really like my three core TCGs. Obviously, Pokemon. I'll always do that, but it's so competitive, and I feel like the community is just broken from the Blake's Breaks thing and everything else that's gone on.
Yeah.
And that Rattle, you guys like Rattle Pokemon?
I've never.
I'm familiar.
The dude's on YouTube, and YouTube, I think. He just picks apart all the videos of people scamming, and sometimes they're not scamming, but he says they are. And
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch now.
No, never even heard of him.
Yeah, it's he was one of the ones that like started talking about Blake every single day for like a month and a half straight. But I don't even know where I was going with that. I streamed till 3:30 this morning. Slept for 3 hours. Drove to Waterbury, Connecticut. My son's football game, the regionals.
Yeah, how'd that
go? Ate a couple drinks, and I'm here.
Wow.
What were we just talking about before that? Going to collect
other TCGs, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I stick with those three, and Pokemon, of course. But I feel like it's broken because of all that stuff. Like if you're not on there giving bounties, which you can't do on Whatnot anymore.
Yeah,
people don't really want to buy the Pokemon sets. I mean, Walmart's loaded. You can go to Walmart, get them. You can get them at an LGS store. I feel like 151 was awesome. A couple sets before that sucked, and I feel like Paradox Rift fell off the map. Like people were dumping them on release day for like $5 loss.
Yeah, there's no hype to it anymore.
Yeah.
Nowadays you get one actually good card per set to chase for. And then other than that, it's just, all right, wasted money.
If you just wait, you can buy it for 50 cents on the dollar like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
There's thousands of them on TCG Player.
I'm pretty sure 151 is still doing good.
Yeah, 151 is good. Yep. And, you can't get a restock of it, right? At least, I can't. I think I spent $100,000 on Pokemon with Southern Hobby in the last 11 months. And I'm only allocated 50 booster boxes, 40 to 50 ETBs, and like 5 cases of blister packs, the sleeve hanger packs. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. I can sell out of that in 3 days or 2 days.
Yeah,
I believe that.
It's not enough. But Paradox Rift, they gave me a ton of it because nobody wants it.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuck with it. So
no Magic, huh?
So Magic is tough to get. So unless you're holding Magic tournaments, and again, going back to that, like, so I've got a 7,000 square foot warehouse. I've got a showroom. We've got a little play area with like 4 tables.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have to have a couple employees just to like be teaching, organizing. Like it's a lot. Like just doing MetaZoo is a lot, and then adding in all these other TCGs just to be able to carry them, it's a lot. So to get Magic, you have to kind of be on top of that. You have to have a dedicated couple people to do it. I'd love to get it. I would love to get into it, but for me to get it wholesale, I have to be holding tournaments weekly or monthly at least. So they're really tough on that, which is good. You don't want just everybody getting Magic.
So you weren't chasing the One Ring?
I definitely spent some money on packs.
Yeah.
I am glad that I didn't go in huge, and then the ring got pulled, and I'm one of these shops that are sitting on 600 booster boxes now.
It's so crazy that there's still, like now they got the holiday edition that's about to be coming out, Lord of the Rings Holiday Edition.
Yeah.
They like the big major thing was already pulled, even though this is a new edition. It's not like there's going to be a new one of one. There's going to be serialized, but not to that extent. So it's like, Man, they should have just waited. They should have dropped the first set and had like the other rings,
Yeah.
and then the second holiday set do the one ring, because that'd have been perfect right around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. That's another one that's kind of, it feels like it comes out, a new one comes out every couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Pokemon. It's like every month it's Japanese and it's English, and then they trickle in like tins and in special edition boxes, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I see the bubble popping on TCGs very soon. It's kind of already started to happen a little bit, which is kind of good. I mean, we'll see some stuff. You'll see the real stuff hang on. And again, like I think Metazoo, Akora, Cannabis, they'll all hang on. Cryptic, I don't know. I messed with Cryptic for a little while, and then I stopped.
Yeah, I bought a little bit of it when it was still in. I don't even remember if it was. Yeah, it was Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure you showed them to me.
Yeah, I bought a good bit of it during Kickstarter. And then Back Alley Mages.
I like Back Alley Mages, but they're kind of slow. They haven't really made a real actual core set yet.
Yeah, I did get to redeem a full set of the Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald.
Oh, the new set.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah, like Cryptic and Back Alley Mages, I like them, but I don't see enough of it being like out there and promoted and moved.
Yeah.
For me to think that like once the TCG bubble does fully pop, that it may or may not survive it.
I went in big with Riddle 66. Did you ever buy packs when the Riddle boxes were out there?
No.
$700 for a box topper, one card.
Yeah, I had bought a couple boxes, and then I pretty much depleted my funds. And then like 2 days later, he had got a Riddle box, and I was like,
"Oh no, I'm talking original Riddle, not the Wicked Prophecy Gold ones."
Oh,
before Kickstarter.
No, no.
Yeah, so those boxes were like 15 grand, and there was only 66 boxes out there. I think I have one back there. Yeah, right there underneath the pop.
Jeez.
So it's open. But so another thing that Bailey got me into, and I'm good buddies with Bailey too. And I know there's always drama around him too, and it's mostly always bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Riddle 66 box. They had 66 of them before Kickstarter. Each pack would go for $500. And people were like fighting over them. And the box topper, there's only 66 box toppers, about $600 to $700. I bought like 4 packs. And now the cards are worth like maybe $300. But you know, that I loved the Riddle 66. Kickstarter was good. They had a lot of printing issues, print line issues, a lot of quality issues, and then he did the same thing with Wicked Prophecy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the art looked great.
The art's amazing. It's amazing. The card quality was crap, and it never got better. Even Wave 2, it just never got better, and then I feel like he went on the van tour and maybe didn't pay it. I don't know. I don't know. I stopped for a little while. A lot of people jumped ship, and at the cons, I heard some stuff from Chum. With Chum Lee and everybody else, and I don't know. You learn.
Yeah.
There's so many TCGs, what to stick with, what works, what people like. Like I'll always love Metazoo, Core, Cannabis. I like Back Alley Mages. Sorcery, that was my first sorcery stream. I think you jumped in that the other day.
Yeah.
So I missed the boat on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I did get a couple, not much, but I did get a couple packs of the alpha.
which is expensive.
Yeah, once upon a time. And then I bought 3 packs of the beta so far, but that's just because most of my money has gone into the Harvest of Horrors lately.
Yeah. I'm still chasing the Apprentice Dr. Green Thumb card. I pulled it twice. Yesterday we pulled a black and white one last night. And I tried to buy it and he wasn't hearing it. I ended up with 3 collectors though, which is pretty rare out of 20. So I'm happy with that.
I have 3 Grim Lotus and 1 of the bananas, but that's it. I got a lot. I can't wait to see the stuff that I got coming back from grading.
I have something for grading for you, right?
Yeah.
So
a good bit of stuff.
I've got submission coming Monday, submission coming Wednesday. The other ones have not shipped out yet. It was a fight. I called them every day for probably 15 days straight, like yelling at every person that would pick up the phone and getting switched over to managers. Like I paid for 20-day service on a couple of those, paid extra for every card. And they were basically telling me like, that's just a estimate. Now we're 45 days on speedy delivery and 60 days on bulk. And that's what we're going to stick to. And I'm like, well, you guys said that after I paid for these and submitted these. Like, that's not right. Like, I'm a partner with you guys. Like I probably do 800 submissions a month with you guys. You're not going to do anything for me. Like I need these cards. My customers are all asking, and I hate to be in that position when I'm streaming and people come in. They're like, hey, where's my card? And I don't have an answer for them. I'm just saying, it's in process. I hate being in that position because I stand behind everything I say. And
100%.
Seem like one of my really good customers in Canada. He had won an uncut sheet on a charity auction I did. Got sent to his house from the UK. It was a Cora. It was a $480 tax charge that he had to pay. I covered it. I didn't have to do that, but that's just what I do. I don't care if I lose money. I make it right with my customer no matter what.
Yeah.
I never want anybody thinking that they got taken or ripped off or just I never want anybody to be unhappy, and if I can control it, So
doing genuine good business, and that's what I respect about you a lot. Is like you do seem like just a genuinely good dude. Like I said, after like a couple streams, I was sitting there thinking like, that's my kind of dude. Like
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not out there. I don't make money streaming. I think I give away like $500 worth of stuff every week, all year long. And as long as I can make enough money to cover the giveaways and I get to keep a couple cards, I'm happy. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I enjoy the communities, the people. I enjoy ripping heat for people. It's awesome. Eventually I'd like to make some money. It's not my full-time job. I've got my grow, I got my warehouse, I do tuna fishing in the summertime, commercial and lobster, and then I stream at night.
Yeah, you are definitely a jack of all trades. You fish too?
Yeah, have you seen any of the fishing videos and pictures I posted on Instagram?
No.
See, I've seen them, but I thought it was just like one of those like, hey, I'm going out on a fishing trip thing.
Yeah, no. So that's actually like me and my buddy on my boat. 2 years ago, we caught a 700-pounder, and like Wicked Tuna, like the show. Like we fished out there, and the show is filming like, we could almost throw a baseball to him.
What was the tuna worth?
The show is bullshit. It's not worth what they say it's worth. So we caught that right at the end of COVID, like after the after effects of COVID to like the industry, and nobody was shipping over to Japan. Auctions were happening. They offered us $2 a pound. and we were like, "Fuck you!" Like that's we almost died. We got caught in a storm when we caught that fish. It was 4.5 hours to reel it in, and I have a video of most of it. And my boat's 26 feet. May sound big to you guys, but when we're out there, there's 40, 50-foot boats out there.
Yeah.
My boat is not big, and there was like 4 to 5 foot waves coming with like 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
We thought we were gonna die. I was scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared shitless for my life. We had Coast Guard on call. We had the radio hanging down. We had vests on, suits on. Like we thought we were gonna go over. We're going like this over waves. Like what's that movie? Perfect Storm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
man.
as bad as that, but pretty damn close. And we have a 700-pound tuna hanging on the side of the boat because we couldn't get it in the boat. And we're like, this thing's worth like 18 grand. We're gonna do whatever we can. We're gonna go 4 miles an hour. It's 4 knots. It's like 6 miles an hour on the way home.
Yeah.
And we made it somehow. And they offered us $2 a pound. And we were like, we're gonna feed everybody that we know and their families with tuna. We are not selling this for $2. We just risked our lives for this thing.
Yeah. No way.
So yeah, I want to know, what is it like fighting with a giant behemoth of a fish for 4.5
I'll have to show you some of the videos. They're too long to post on Instagram, but
That
we
is
are like
easy.
yelling at the sea, screaming. Like our veins are like popping out, and like we're locking our arms are locking up, and we're sitting there reeling, like switching back and forth. It's
Just have engaged full Viking mode.
yeah, like it's funny too because my buddy's got his beard's like bigger than mine, and we're out there fishing like that. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll never forget it. The first fish we ever caught. We've caught like 24 tunas in 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons. And yeah, it's fucking awesome. And then we take the sawzall to it. We chop the head off.
Sick.
We cut the the asshole is like it's like this. You're gonna stick a knife in there. You're gonna cut left and right, and then we have a hose that's like this big, and you shove the hose up the ass, pump the water through it, and the guts slowly come out of the mouth. It's like art. It's so cool. I got videos of that too. Everything kind of comes out, and it's like psychedelic colors, like on the stomach, in the liver, in the heart, and the guts. It's actually like a beautiful thing to see. It's not nasty. Like when you're gutting like a little fish, it's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of see what's in the belly, what it ate. You'll see full fish inside. Super cool. Yeah. Just kind of dismember the whole tuna. And it's funny. We'll go back to the dock and we'll have this big giant body bag. We'll be dragging it if we keep it. If it's a small tuna, like a 60-inch tuna, and nobody ever asks us a question or anything if like there's a body in there, we're fucking dragging it on the dock. It's funny. There's blood coming out of it.
So was that 700-pounder the biggest one you guys ever wrestled in?
Yeah. 700-pound. I think it was 104 inches.
Wow.
We have a buddy. His boat name is Jaw Reel. It's Jaw's the god, so the real god. And everybody thinks it's Jaw Rule out there in the oceans. It's like the Rasta colors and everything. He lives on the water 200 days of the year, and he has caught monsters, like 110-inch, 850-pound monsters. That's what he does. He's full time. Does that. We just do it kind of commercially, but you know,
Fishing nonstop. I couldn't imagine being in open water that long.
It's
you have to like it.
You have to like it. Yeah, you can't be a seasick person.
No,
it's cool to sleep out there 40 miles out, and there's no cell service. There's no people. The air's different. The salt.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's why I won't get on a cruise ship, because I'll be damned if I look out and all I see is water all around.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
We talked about that one day.
Yeah, nope.
It's different when you can't see land anymore.
Yeah, and at nighttime, so we sleep out there sometimes for like 2 or 3 days, and it's pitch black out, and you wake up and you fall off the bed because the waves are so big, and you don't know how big the waves are because you can't see.
Yeah.
So you don't know if they're like 20-footers coming or if they're 3-footers coming. So it makes you really feel like alive out there. It's really cool.
You are like truly at the will of Mother Nature.
Yeah, you got to respect the sea for sure.
So let me ask you this, because this is something that I've always been curious about. Anything strange ever happen out there? Because I dive deep into like cryptid stuff.
Yep.
So, like I've watched videos of
Giant squid.
so-called no, I mean possibly, but
That's what I love about Metazoo too. It's like it's just all the real crypt,
I'm
all that
thinking
shit's
more like sirens,
Love it.
mermaids.
yeah.
Thing. Like I be watching videos of people with like they're recording out on a boat and you could hear some shit, and it's like I don't think that's some shit that like we already know exists.
I mean, the ocean's so massive. Like there's stuff out there we have never seen, and if we could go down deep enough, who knows? So we would up until about a year and a half ago, we would on a really hot day, we would jump off the boat, swim around the boat, and get back on. And sometimes we would see like how many times we could do it without like shitting our pants, until we caught a 7.5-foot shark. And the thing, like, it was Jaws. It's like looking up at us in the fucking eyeball. We caught it. We thought it was a tuna. It came in. It was a giant shark. And
No way.
I have never even dipped my toes in that ocean ever again. Because we were like, a shark's never going to come near our boat.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's what be worrying me is people. Sometimes people get too comfortable when they start thinking like, they start thinking that, oh, that's never gonna happen, or just that it hasn't happened to you yet. And like they don't have that mentality, so they just be out there like, all right, whatever. Like you gotta respect nature because you don't know what, how many people walk outside barefoot all the time, and then there's that one time that a copperhead or a rattlesnake or something, like you gotta respect nature because it don't play around. Them sharks get close to land sometimes.
Yeah, it's nutty. But no, nothing really weird has ever happened out there. I mean, at nighttime coming in, you see all these like iridescence, like I don't know what it is, but it's like it's like neon, like comes out of the water, like all these little organisms in the water. It's fucking awesome. Maybe it was the mushrooms we were eating, but it definitely happens. It definitely happens. No, nothing super spooky or weird yet.
It's crazy that you say that because I think what you might be talking about, they actually covered in a Bob's Burgers episode. So I know exactly.
No, it's definitely real because we've seen it, on and off mushrooms. It's really cool though. Like it's
like the plankton or something.
Plankton, yeah.
Something's going on with them. They give off bioluminescence, so they start glowing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Science, bitch.
Yeah.
So what's some of your like personal biggest TCG collector like items? Like if you had to pick one TCG that you prefer the most to collect.
I don't know. See, I kind of just roll with like all the when I'm streaming them, I get to love them all. I've never dug real deep into Metazoo, and I really want to start collecting like samples.
Yeah,
and like they're expensive. That's what I would really like to get into.
I have some play testers. I'll send you a play tester out to get started if you don't have any already.
Yeah, all right. When I saw the black, the black border samples, that's what I would really like to get into. But again, it gets very expensive for me as a streamer because I'm streaming all these. So, I get to love because I'm ripping them all the time, and I love chasing stuff, and I can't keep sealed stuff in front of me for very long. But realistically, like my Green Thumbs collection for cannabis, it's probably one of my biggest obsessions. And now the collector card, I'm obsessed with getting. I want all 20 of them. I've got 3 within like 5 days, and it's $1,500-$1,600 so far.
How many times has someone pulled something and you ended up buying it off of them by the end of the stream or like right after?
Yeah, that happens a lot, and usually people are in there just basically gambling. They just want to just spend their money, their extra money that they have, and maybe hit something and then sell it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like that, so they'll hit me up right away and be like, "You want to buy this?" or trade it for more boxes or whatever.
I wonder how many times you get the people that think their card is worth more than it is, and not even so much in like
Yeah,
a
I turn
rare
down
hit.
10 deals a day, every day. That people just think I'm going to buy everything.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position that, like, for a while there, I was just buying everything because they're my customers, and I don't want them to think that their cards are worthless. But I also, on the other end, don't want to be known as like the guy that buys stuff too cheap off customers. So many times that, like, a really, like, for instance, a Cora, when an Ancients pulled, I've pulled like 3 or 4 Ancients for customers, or I've always been around people pulling them. I'll just walk away. I'm like, I want nothing to do with it. I'll buy it off the person that you sell it to.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to be tied to, like, I ripped them off, or he should have got, because there's always the haters. There's always, people are going to speculate and just say, E&A buys everything and he pays, he doesn't pay enough money. And I just don't want to be that person. So I kind of step away from anything big.
I get stuck all the time. Local people around here will end up rummaging through their house and finding a Pokemon collection,
Yeah.
and they'll post it. Someone will tag me in it, and then they'll hit me up, and it's like, once they start sending me pictures, it comes down to, are you willing to make a reasonable bargain on this, or do you think that you have this $1 million collection just because it's old?
Right.
And then it gets to, I might have to tell them, like, well, I already have a good bit of this put back, so I'm going to recommend you to this shop in Morgantown. I can imagine that Four Horsemen in Morgantown gets so much business because of me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll push them to the next one, because I don't, like you said, I don't want to be that guy that's like turning people down and making them think that, like, it's worthless. But I also, I don't have a need for it. If
right. If you bought everything, you'd probably buy a house for all the money you're spending on cards, just to pity buy, or people happy.
I'll let the commercial retailer tell them that they'll give them $5 for their 20-year-old card.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. So what do you? So you guys have a shop, like an LGS store, or?
Yes and no. It's strange because it started
tattoos or something, right?
Huh?
You guys do tattoos, or is that, am I thinking of somebody else?
No, we do music.
Okay.
We record music we have 3 levels. Our top floor is all music production. The lobby started off really just as a hangout lobby and selling like merchandise for some of the local artists. And then my personal collection of trading cards got so big that we turned it into a somewhat card shop type thing. And we're going to start holding tournaments because we definitely have the space. It's just we have our hands in a couple other things. So it's, it's time constraint right now.
Yeah.
But then our basement is where we're at now, where we just strictly do anything that needs video stuff. We do our podcast down here. We do MetaZoo matches where we'll live stream the MetaZoo match and people can watch us play live. My boy does rugs down here sometimes.
Nice.
Green screen.
Yeah, the giant green screen. So we just try to, there isn't really much in our town. Like I said, we're pretty poor around here as far as the area.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I was growing up, there was a lot of stuff to do. Like we had an actual arcade. Like the only arcade we have around here is kind of like a cash grab. Put money in, get tickets out, buy
Right, right.
tickets. And we used to have skating rinks, and we had all these things. And nowadays, if you want to go skating, you have to book it on the weekend for a party.
Yeah, that's same here.
So I was like, even if it's making a podcast, because I want to try to turn this into something like a network where every night something's going on. You can always tune in and see something different. Even if it's just bringing slight entertainment to the community or whatever, giving the place for the kids to come to and hang out a little bit. That's
Yeah,
kind of what
that's sweet. That's cool. There's not a lot of places that are like that. I mean, that's cool. Even if you were just like reviewing new sets that come out for different TCGs and ripping a box live and just talking about the quality of the box and the cards and.
See, I've done some of that. Usually whenever I do rips, it's just like I've accumulated a bunch of stuff I've wanted to rip, so I'm gonna just rip it live.
Mhm.
But Josh over here on his YouTube, he's the one that does like a lot of openings and a lot of gameplay and reviews on things. I like to let him do the more up close and personal stuff, and I try to do more of like the news anchoring of it.
Yep.
Good way to put it.
So, do you guys get MetaZoo products regularly, or can you, or do you need to?
I'm able to, but we don't really have a big TCG community around here.
It's just straight
Occasionally,
Pokemon.
yeah, occasionally I'll have people wander in, but more so they'll wander in because our original logo is 2 Lego guys. It was me and the guy that I started all this with originally. Us turned into Lego guys, and so people think we're a Lego shop all the time, even though it says studio on the window. But so yeah, we get a lot of people who come in, think it's a Lego collectible shop, and then they see the trading cards, and then we go down that route. But other than that, there's so many other shops around here that it's more so if you're coming here, it's because I have something really rare or obscure
Yeah.
that you're looking for.
Cool.
And I like it that way because it makes me inadvertently a high class shop for trading cards.
Yeah.
I never even thought of it that way until just now.
We have a table full of bulk. And,
Oh yeah.
And I have a personal bulk collection, and
we have it set up to where kids can come in, and I mean now we don't get it often because the kids aren't into trading cards around here really, but they can come in and make decks and play with them, and if they like them, hey, give me $3, you can keep it.
Yeah, nice.
So trying to do some stuff, but I just, like I said, I'm just happy that I can help, even if it ends up going unnoticed. Who cares?
Yeah, I think the next big step is you becoming MZO.
Yeah, I started trying to do the MZO. I did the practice test and I failed. I need to do a lot more research.
Plus, it's not open, I think, right now to even apply. It's not always just open.
Yeah.
Yeah, study, man. Study.
Dude, I can't believe that you were. How did I? I pulled one out of my pocket. How did I get 2 lighters? But I can't believe that when you were doing the eBay Cora boxes the day before, or was it like hours before the stream, you ended up pulling it.
My son. So my son was like, let's open one. Every time I get a big shipment at the warehouse, he's like, let's rip a booster box or a case or something like that.
It's a celebration.
He's around it all the time. Like I'll get like a pallet of every new MetaZoo set. and let's open 6 of them, and I always do. We always do. So yeah, we open up that. I couldn't believe it. The first box that we pull off there,
I know your jaw dropped.
I have it recorded because we were hoping to pull one of the boxes that had all the errors in it, because they obviously want to get those back to the company and not dispersed out there. So I was like, you know what, if I pull one, they're gonna give me like an uncut sheet or something. That'd be cool. Let's try to pull that.
Yeah.
Pull the ancient. So I'm like, I was pissed because I had like 28 boxes and I have this huge event coming up, and I am not the guy that's gonna be quiet about that and sell the 28 boxes and
Yeah.
nobody pulls it. Like that's like a total scumbag move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta get everybody in Discord right now and tell them what happened. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really care if I have this 1 of 1. Like I have so many Akora cards.
Yeah, no, you handled it amazingly. You did it exactly how anyone
Yeah.
else thinks should.
And I could have seen it happen a bunch of other different ways if it was somebody else. And like, you know what? Most of the Akora community like really like loves me, and just be honest with them, and I'm gonna give it away. And they loved it. It was awesome. It worked out perfect. I was pissed though. I was like, I should have been so happy that I pulled it, but I felt bad that I even opened up a box. I like, as a streamer, like I feel bad opening up boxes, like taking cards away from my core customers.
What were the odds though?
Especially if I hit a big serial hit too.
Okay. So that's the crazy thing though. He doesn't follow Akora or any of that. So when he just said, but what were the odds of that? Sadly, at that point in time, because everything else had been sold, and we had already gone through some, the odds
there
were
were 400 boxes produced,
Okay.
100 in the UK and 300 in the US. And Akora contacted me with eBay because I was in the process of becoming one of the only 30 people that do eBay Live, which I am now. It's like their beta right now, so it's not that great. It's not that big.
It seems like you've been killing it on there too.
So, anyways, they contact me. They're like, "We want you to do the drop. We want you to host the drop." So I had to buy all 300 boxes up front and then host the drop. And we sold out of all 300 in like probably like 4 days on eBay Live.
Easy.
And then I contacted the UK. I'm like, hey, you guys still have 52 boxes left. You guys only sold 48. And it's been like 3 weeks now. I'm like, can I grab these? Like, can I do something about these? Like, I'd like to get in the US. That's where the biggest market is for Akora. So at that point in time, the odds were I had it. I bought the remaining 52 or what. Yeah. By the time the transaction ended, it was like 28 because people jumped on. They gave them an extra week in the UK to buy boxes before I grabbed them all. So
and a good bit of those was me. I was buying them off eBay from them.
And I bought some off them too. Like the shipping sucks. But there was a good chance that there's still probably 20 to 30 out there spread out that are sealed.
Yeah, mine's sealed.
So yeah, you could have had it, and we could have opened up all 28 boxes on stream, and it couldn't have been there. And so the odds were good, but there was a very small chance that we didn't have it.
Wow. And wouldn't that have been reckless?
Yeah. That would have just been my luck that we opened up all those. It wasn't in there, and
we would have had to immediately put out like a PBA. Everyone that has a sealed box open.
Yeah. So that's what's really cool about a small print run like that. Like you can literally open up almost all of them and pull and actually like complete the job. Like clear the whole set, pull everything. Like the 1 of 1 secret was pulled, the 1 of 1 ancient was pulled. And that was the very first 1 of 1 ever for Akora, and it was eBay stamped, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was hunting that thing. I wanted it so bad.
So I think Silver Joker, KS Silver Joker was the one that ended up with it. And it turned into a huge fight. Everybody was fighting to get it. And he was finally like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it. This is crazy. Like, you guys are all fighting over it, and they were getting mad at him because he wouldn't come to a certain price that they wanted to be at. And I mean, when you look at it 5 years from now, if a core is as big as that I think they're going to be, it's going to be a massive hit, a massive card to hold. So it's, the market's kind of down on everything right now.
That's like, I was looking at the pop reports. Now I know the pop reports aren't always updated timely, but I still have the only CGC 10 UK cheese.
Do you?
Yeah, according to the most recent CGC pop report.
So how do you feel about before I go on with this? How do you feel about DSG or DGS or?
I've never even really.
Nom Noms uses them too.
Yeah, I've never looked into them on a personal level, but I have bought I bought a Kickstarter Dr. Green Thumb that's DSG 10.
Yeah.
So I don't have any. It's not like I don't like them, but I also don't have any attachment to. I don't have any attachment to any grading service really.
Yeah, they all have their pluses and minuses for sure, and I think eventually, as much as we all, most people hate, or some people hate AI, that might be the way. PSA might have to include AI grading or something. But so getting back to DSG, so I love their custom labels.
Yeah,
I have a bunch of Nom Nom cards that I got direct from Victor, I think 2 years ago at North Carolina Collecticon. Yeah, when he was just sitting there signing them, like he had them in piles. Yeah, and he was just handing them out. But I don't know. I don't like the fact that I have cards that are clearly 60-40 in their pristine, in their perfect 10s or whatever their 10 is. But with with CGC and PSA, I've seen the same shit happen too. So I don't know.
That's the frustrating thing. This guy I seen on Facebook the other day in one of the Black Label groups.
Yeah.
And he had this Black Label Snorlax as a gold Snorlax. And they showed the back of it. And everyone in the comments is just this should have never got a BGS Black Label. It's clearly off center, blah, blah, blah. And it's hey, man, I understand from a super duper exquisite collector standpoint that you're expecting the best out of a Black Label if it's going to get the Black Label, so that sullies the name. But at the same time, let this dude revel in the fact that he got a Black Label.
Right, that he finally got a Black Label. Exactly. He probably sent 30 of them.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's really, to me, just because PSA is, it's PSA, that's what everybody knows in a sense. As far as the most recognizable, if it's available, that usually ends up being my go-to. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's whatever is available to me in the time, because I've never personally sent a submission in, and I need to. I have so many cards that need to be graded.
Yeah.
Well, we also have Rudy from Alpha Investments has his own grading service now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does he?
Yeah.
I feel like there's something that you knew I had no idea about.
Yeah. It's pretty new. He says he has at the top of the card, it's metal with laser etched.
It's gonna be interesting. Probably expensive, but interesting.
I haven't seen it, but I watch his videos. Not beginning to end, but I watch his videos. And that's what he was talking about. Promoting them, self-promoting them, talking about it.
Yeah, I think eventually there's got to be one or two that it's gonna, anybody coming out with a new grading service, it's gonna be years before anybody even trusts them. There's so many different ones at this point. I feel like it's who do you go with? I like CGC personally because it's so clean. It's like a window. It's like a floating card on a window, and it's so clear, crisp, and clean. I like that. PSA, I kind of hate the red label and everything. It's kind of a frosted plastic.
Yeah.
But that holds the value. PSA, everybody likes PSA. That's going to hold the value. And then anything else, BGS, I've tried a couple times. Their customer service sucks. Their process sucks. As like a big submitter, like submitting 50 to 100 cards every time, it's a pain in the ass to do with BGS. And it sucks. Their customer service is terrible from a dealer standpoint.
Yeah, I imagine at this point, in order for a grading service to like really gain clientele quickly, would be to go to as many cons that you can. And maybe someone already has done this. I don't know. But I would go to as many cons as I can and do live grading.
Yeah.
I mean, like right then and there, you can watch one of our people. We'll pick like, because I don't know how long.
There's a robotic one. It looks like a desktop, and it's like $100 though, and they'll do it like in an hour for you. They've been at all the cons. I forget what it's called.
See, that's sweet.
But it's $100. Like, you're not going to have a kid come over with his, $25 Charizard or Pikachu and grade it for $100.
I'd do something exclusive.
$800 card.
Yeah, I'd do something exclusive where it's like each day we'll pick 15 cards. So line up early and you can watch the dude if you feel like watching him. You can watch him grade your card and see how we do it and see what the deal is. Because at this point, like you said earlier, it's about the trust. People don't want to trust, because how many times have we seen, and no one's going to admit it, but it's the truth. How many times have we seen a bunch of cards come out that should have been 10s, not be 10s because they're trying to control population to some extent, or vice versa.
All sending a card in, or Chum-Li, and they're going to do it, make it a 10 no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy. I wish you just went back to the days like when I was a kid and there were no graded cards. Now now everything is graded. Like 10 years from now, everything's going to be graded. There's going to be no lightly played cards.
Your eyeballs were the grading service. Did you sleeve it, and did you top load it?
Yeah.
Can I take it out to look at it? You didn't bend it or scratch it, did you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody plays with like sleeves now. We used to play with cards that were raw. Like,
man.
So everything's going to be great condition.
Cards be beat to shit.
Right.
And I think that's what created this big like misconception about the trading card world and the collectible world, is that like there were only two major booms. That there was like the old antique era whenever we started getting older, and it was like, okay, if you had some of that stuff, you could make some money off of it.
Right.
And then there was when we were kids, all of our trading card stuff is now worth money because majority of us beat the hell out of it.
Yeah, we played them.
But now from here on out, between the digital era and between people sleeving their cards more often and everything, I don't think there's ever going to be this major boom in the market like we had seen before. And that's where a lot of people are trying to jump in now, thinking that 10 years from now they're going to make $1 billion. And it's like, bro, hopefully we make a couple thousand.
Yeah, it's going to be big hits, serialized cards, and low print runs, and that's it. Everything else is going to be like, you go on pop reports for the Charizard of 151 or whatever new set, and there's like 367 10s.
Yeah,
and it's only been out for a week or two. It's I don't know. That's just how it is.
I'm hoping my Zard's one of them 300 and something. Well, mine's CGC through you, but
yeah. So I'm expecting a lot of submissions between Monday and Wednesday. I think I have like
I got a big Akora eBay hit.
100,
and I
yeah,
can't remember
180.
what
I could
it-
probably look yours. I don't have my list on. It's list. All my lists are printed out the warehouse, but I've got the on my computer. I've got all the CGC. But I know that I have. Actually, I take pictures of everything. So that's a lot of people don't know that. So the grading process, if you don't trust the person you're grading with, it can get very sketchy. So like, if I get 5 of the same card from the same day,
I was
people
sitting
grading.
around wondering about that.
People have asked me before, and I've explained it. And so this is just how I've approached it. I don't know if everybody else does it this way, but I take the time and I'll split them up, and I'll take photos of everybody's card because I always write the name on the back when you guys pull them on stream. I'll write your name on the back right away, and before I transfer it to the actual pull tab and the grade saver, because you have to do that to send it, I'll take pictures of your actual card. So if there's ever like a discrepancy, like we could blow up that card with your name on right next to it, and you can see if there's a little, dot on the top left corner or a little smudge or anything. It'll be. I've got it on my phone. I'm gonna pull yours up right now, actually.
That's awesome, though. That's smart.
And I'll split them up. But for the most part, like with all that scamming and shit going on with Blake's Breaks allegedly and everybody else, if you ever have like 10, 15 cards that you're submitting and you get them back and they're not all consecutive or pretty close, something's fishy. At least that's how I do it. Like I'll put I'll take all of your cards and put them together. Unless there's multiples, then I'll break them up into different submissions. But there were so many people that said that they had cards and they came back different cards with that whole Blake's thing.
Yeah.
I have so many friends that bought like big, and they got them back and it was like, this is not my card. Like, where did my card go?
That always makes you wonder too, like how how many times has it possibly happened in the past that
It's scary to think about it. And even like the graders, like how well do we know are these graders being recorded?
Yeah.
Do they have like first edition Charizards in their pocket every day at work, waiting for that perfect one to come in and swap it out?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we seen the worker from Pokemon steal how many Umbreons and Rayquazas. You know what I mean? So crazier things have happened. So I wouldn't doubt it if like there's been a worker or two that might have a couple nice cards, and who's to say that they don't already know that they're going to be grading this card tomorrow. So
Right. You can go down a whole rabbit hole of videos of people's theories on the grading.
The worst is whenever, because you could send in a card and in your head, without a doubt, it looks amazing. And I've seen some videos of people open them and they come back 6s and they're beat up. And it's like, this is not what I sent in.
Yeah. Or they mishandled it. They dropped it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is what if it was you at that point, it comes down to speculation. Was it the mail? Did the mail do it?
So I can tell you when I ship submissions, it's bulletproof when I send it.
Yeah.
And when it gets sent back, it's almost the same way. So here, I just pulled up September 10th. That's one of your cards right there, Bunchable, a Sengru.
Yeah, I think that might.
That's how I do it. So I take a picture next to your card when oh shit, how the fuck that just happened? All right, there we go. So everybody's card gets a picture with their name next to it before I transfer it over. And when I send it to CGC, they send it back exactly the same. So you had a Vistium Protection Full Art. You had a Last Roll Up. So I keep all this. I keep this for like months after the cards come back even. You had a Jack Skeleton.
Yeah,
this is all yours. This is either Monday or Wednesday. You had a you had the Casper OG.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one we graded. That's the only one other than mine that I've ever sent out to get graded.
Oh hell yeah.
So I think those were your cards right there. You might have some in other submissions, but 1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Yeah, that's the most
4,
recent one.
5. Yeah. So I haven't checked the grades because I've been so crazy. I was just happy to see CGC send me an email.
Yeah. The probably the first submission that you get back. Well, probably the last submission.
Yeah, you had something recently. I think I remember in the last couple 2-3 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Well, I had the one that I'm trying to remember because I just can't remember what card it was, but I know it had the slime on it. But it was out of the most recent submissions that you sent in, it would have been like the first one you sent in. So it should be the first one you're getting back, I would think.
So that's the first one I'm getting back. Those cards I just showed you. That was from that was like 50 almost because they don't count weekends or holidays. So when they say 30 business days, it's 30 Monday through Fridays that aren't holidays. So that was like almost 50 days, I think. 45, 50 days. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, there was that. And then, there was that one. And then I pulled the Charizard. And then I pulled more from the Halloween and the NCL packs.
Yeah, what else was there? And then you had I just got paperwork everywhere here. Yeah, so that must be the most recent submission that's still sitting there. I sent so I sent a ton of doodled cards to see if they would do anything with them, because they supposedly don't do doodles or art cards, like raw art cards. I sent a bunch of those, so yours must be in that last submission. But you also have the promo packs, the gold and silver packs.
Yeah,
I did get some of those too. Yeah.
And
so I haven't sent anything to CGC, I think, since those last couple streams. I refuse to, because it's going to be, at this point, it's like 60 days, and they're only saying that's an estimate. I don't know if you remember when sports cards really started happening again, and Pokemon was like, you would go to Walmart and you'd have to stand in line for an hour to get them.
Oh yeah, shit was so
Grading
bad.
was like 180 days to like 200 days. And it just recently got better in the last year and a half. And I think that's coming again.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was nuts. Like, nobody even wanted to send comic books because it was like a year. And
I held everything.
I didn't forget about it.
That's why I need to make a submission, because I have so much stuff that I held, because I would either pull it here myself or I'd pull it on stream with someone that doesn't offer grading. So I'm like, all right, well, we're holding her.
So now we're not allowed to do anything but PSA on Whatnot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I understand they have a partnership, but at the same time, I feel like if you want to, you should be able to offer a billion grading services.
Right. I think a bunch of people mishandled it too. Like, I take it very seriously when I do it, because it's like I've got all these people trusting with their cards. Like, I should almost video it every time. It would just take so much longer to do that. But yeah, I take it very seriously. And so I've stopped doing it, because I hate people wait. I hate waiting. I don't even like waiting 30 days to get a card back personally. But I get into the habit of, like, you forget about it and then they show up. And if you do so many cards, it's like you always have stuff coming back.
Yep.
But yeah, I haven't sent anything in the. I have a pile waiting for PSA, waiting for Phil. Like, your promo cards are waiting for Phil to get back for those.
I'm wondering how they're gonna be handled with the embossed in them.
That might be an error. I don't know. It might be an error, probably, unless Phil says that because that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then he was like, because he called me up. He's like, yo, E&A. He's like, I made a mistake, but I think it's really cool. What do you think about it? I was like, embossed? I'm like, that's fucking sick. I want to see. Yeah. Show me. So he showed me a picture. I was like, that's fucking sick. People are going nuts over that. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna do like 20 total, and that's it. And yeah, that was cool. It looked really good. Reminded me of like remember Half Baked when they were stamping the happy faces on the bags.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope it does get
Mr. Nice Guy.
declared an error, because if not, then it's gonna count against the surface.
Yeah. So I think it's whatever Phil tells them when he sends them all the uploads, all the information.
Well, Phil, it's an error.
Right. Right. And I think when we finally do send them, we can mark them as an error too. That might help.
Mhm.
But I know that the PSA's approached him at Long Beach Collecticon and Denver, and they finally got over the fact that it's marijuana.
Yeah,
And
because
they
it's
got over that. They got over that fact, so they're going with PSA now.
yeah. I think a lot of people had reserves initially because they thought it was gonna be taboo.
Mhm. They came over and they were like, as long as it's not porn, we're good with it. And he's like, it's fucking medicine. It's not porn.
Yeah,
Like, it's not as bad. It's not in the same category as porn. It's not drugs. It's not like they're selling heroin cards or
yeah.
you know.
I mean,
It's
we've
medicine.
seen
Legal
some
in most
more.
states.
Yeah, we've seen some more absurd TCGs try to pop out before.
Did you see Drugimon?
No, see, I've
I've
heard
seen
of it, but
pictures,
no,
yeah,
I've
actually.
never got to
That
actually.
was an actual thing on Kickstarter for a little while, and I think it just went away. I thought it was a joke when I saw it.
Wow.
The things that people come up with are just.
And people will back them. That's the more fucked up thing. Some people actually back them just to see if it'll be a thing.
See, if I had enough money, I would be one of those assholes. I'd be like, you know what? Who knows?
Yeah,
Because
throw $1,000 at every single one. That was me for a year, and I learned. Another one. Have you guys checked out Pangea?
Mm-hmm.
I streamed it when it first came out. Samples. That's the owners I've hung out with at the con. I've talked to them. They're really cool people, and they have delayed it for the last year and a half because they don't want to come out with Kickstarter until they're absolutely ready to do a Kickstarter and fully like all in, get it here, print it on time, and have the right artist and have the right distribution and the right play in place. And they're really doing so. I definitely stand behind them. And since day one, I love the quality. So they're coming. They're on Kickstarter now. It's not live yet. It's on watch right now, on bookmark. But that's going to be good.
See, there was another one that was like Pangea.
Life or something or
Yeah.
something aqua water or something. BBS or Hoff was pushing it when BBS was with Cannabeast, and it disappeared.
I'm not sure.
If we're talking about the same thing, I think it was in Denver Collecticon last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that.
because I seen it a couple times on Instagram, and they were pushing like it was the humpback whale card,
Yeah,
and they were like pushing some kind of ad with it, and like I remembered seeing it on Kickstarter once, and then nothing, and then that ad, and I was like, oh holy shit, like I was wondering what happened to you guys.
yeah. Another one that kind of went away, and I was kind of upset about it, is Scamperland. You guys remember that?
Nah, I never got to see it.
So the guy actually lives like an hour from me in Worcester, Massachusetts. And it was a great, where is it? It was a great concept, but he didn't care about gameplay and he didn't care about marketing. And when the cards were made for Kickstarter, they looked like they all came out looking like they were heavily played. It was terrible.
Ooh.
It was when the whole boom happened and you literally could not get black core paper for cards or cardboard. So that people were just going to any company to get cards made because it was like a 6 to 8 month wait. But so I did the big pledge. I got my own character made.
That's sick.
Which is you know, the Rasta shorts, the tuna fisherman, the beard.
That's dope.
And they made it a card. I have 10 cards of it.
Looks
But
great.
it was this whole. They even had a Ninja Turtle artist from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
Where is it?
Well, Josh, you know what time it is. We gotta
The weekly plug.
Yeah, we gotta plug your
Let me just say that.
TCG game in.
I got one question.
Gotta try to pedal it off to E&A.
I got
Oh,
one.
I want to hear it. This is the scam plan right here. It was super cool. It was like 90s, like Rat Fink, Ninja Turtle. It was super cool. The hits were crazy, but the cards were shit quality.
I need to buy one of your cards
see a
off
Street
eBay.
Shark
I gotta
on
find
there.
one.
I haven't done anything with the cards. I haven't even showed them off. I've just been so mad about it because I dumped a lot of money into it, and we were selling boxes for like, these were going for like $400 the first week or two. Everybody loved them, but when they got the cards in, and when I was pulling them, I was telling people, I'm like, I'm not happy with the quality of these. They looked like they were heavily played, every card.
Yeah.
It's sad. So he did a Kickstarter for a first edition, and it was short of like $180. It didn't get funded. I'm like, at that point, as an owner of it, why didn't you just have somebody pledge $180 to get it through and work it out? But again, he didn't care about marketing and gameplay, and you know, it just happens. There's too many TCGs out there. So what's yours?
Mine's a TMNT.
TMNT?
Yeah, just straight Ninja Turtles. I have 50 good guy characters, 50 bad guy characters, and a total card set of 304. So it has like, you know, instead of like spells or trainer cards, obviously there's like an arena card, like your battlefield, you know, same as like Yu-Gi-Oh or even MetaZoo. And then it's like open gameplay, just kind of like MetaZoo, you know, and you have your resource, which would be Ooze. And it's pretty good. It's like it follows the cartoon. So every item. So there's like weapons, devices, vehicles, obviously. The way it plays. So say if you play the turtle van, you could equip 4 turtles to it, and the idea behind that is the way you win, the way the life point system works. So say you start out with set agreed amount. So we'll pick 12. So we all start off with like 12 canisters of ooze, and every time your character dies, whatever his ooze cost was, say he cost 2 ooze to play, then it just gets subtracted from yours, and then once you're out, you lose. So it's kind of like the countdown, kind of like Magic, you know. It takes from Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and MetaZoo. Nothing really from Pokemon, but I took all those gameplay mechanics and mixed it up. But I like it. It's a lot of fun. I've done a lot of test playing, and I even have an artist. So I get 4 cards made every 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
You have them with you?
I have them on my phone. You want to see one?
Yeah, definitely would. So yeah. I've always been like Ninja Turtle. So I was born in '82, and I had I like the movies, the Nintendo game, the toys, everything. I loved Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I was born in '88, so I was obsessed. Am obsessed.
That's when he started telling me about it and showing me. I was like, "Oh, dude, I cannot wait for this to be a game." Oh, hold on.
Oh shit!
I gotta turn off the virtual background.
It looks like it's a piece of glass. You can see through it. So you drew that, or is that like computer?
No, I've hit an artist.
His artist.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Lift it up higher. There you go, right there.
So how would you get around like Mirage Studios or whatever they are now, like suing you for that if you did it?
That's what we've been talking about and trying to figure out is how to go about the copywriting and the licensing thing.
So
because as like a toy and like Ninja Turtle collector, like that would be absolutely like, did they have Ninja Turtle cards?
Trash.
Yeah, once upon a time,
Once
because
upon a
I
time,
did
right?
a little
Yeah.
research. Yeah.
Yeah, trash. The
Yeah.
gameplay was horrible, stupid.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing: if you go to them and pitch it to them, right,
Well,
bro,
that's the only way I
they
can do
might
it. I
fuck
have to.
around and hire you, and now next thing
think,
you know, bro, we TMNT on top of the world.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of like obviously Ninja Turtle players would play it. Then I think there's a lot of older my age, like 35, 30, 35, even 25-year-old players to play TCGs to be like, oh, that would be cool. I'd play it for a little bit.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
Anything from the 90s, like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
You have the guys now that have money, like they're 35 to 45.
And even just collectors,
Yeah.
not even people that want to play.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Magic, they're collabing with everybody.
Right.
Everybody. But specifically they have coming up Transformers. I think they already did Transformers, didn't they? Never mind.
No.
Or no, they didn't already. Well, I know they have Transformers coming up. Final Fantasy. So
Really? I didn't know that.
Excited for Final Fantasy.
yeah, very excited for the Final Fantasy. There's a MetaZoo interview that's like old because Native didn't come out yet, right? But the interview just came out like maybe a week and a half ago. But obviously the person just didn't upload it for a while for whatever reason. But it's with Mike, and Mike said that he was doing something with Ninja Turtles. But who knows when that'll come out for fruition? And there was nothing in particular like specific, but I was like, whoa, I perked up. I was like, oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, but we'll see.
I've been telling Cannabis like we need to have like a 90s Nintendo set, something like that.
Man, 8-bit, 32-bit.
Yeah, do it.
Maniac Mansion, Mario, Zelda, like all the cool shit.
Yeah,
that would be
like
nostalgia sells, man.
Yeah, that would be cool because they kind of mess around. I don't know how they get away with it all the time, but they mess around like the Coca-Cola and all the stuff that's coming out, and they get away with it. So I'd love to see something like that.
That's what makes me love collecting it so much. Is like you open up something and it's like the Chucky OG, like the Chuck OG.
Yeah.
That's dope. Like it don't matter. That's fire. That's something that in the 90s, early 2000s, you would have seen someone with a baggy shirt with that graphic on it.
Hell yeah. Yep. Yep.
So it's like it gives me heavy nostalgic vibes just seeing like how they incorporate all these wild things that is definitely like 1000 or 90s and 2000s era, and you see them on all these cards, and when I say twisted, I don't mean like in a horror way, but they're twisted with their own little sense of art,
right?
Get like more cannabis related, and it's just so dope because as stoners we all think that the Daffy Duck smoking a blunt with the high eyes looks cool.
Yep.
But
yeah, that Ninja Turtle thing, that would be cool. I'd be a buyer for that for sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I work on it all the time. I test play it all the time. I rewrite cards. Like with the pictures I showed you, that's why they're all blank because I didn't finalize anything yet until after I test played it to hell and back.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I definitely respect his admiration and work for it, because when he first showed me it, he's like, yeah, I already have this done and this and this, and then like it was maybe not even a month after that he brought in his 2 test decks and we ended up test playing it, and I'm like, oh, so like this is a full-on game that you are.
So what would you do? Would you start off with like a Patreon?
Well, first I'm a little more than halfway done with all the art for the 2 demo decks. So once all the art's done, and then I have like a hero deck and a villain deck, you know what I mean, like a turtle deck and a shredder deck, because that's how it's going to work for as far as like types go. With Pokemon, there's like fire, lightning, whatever. So with this, it's just villains and heroes. So once I have all the artwork done, I don't know. I didn't put thought into it. I know of a couple companies. I have 2 or 3 companies saved to get the cards made too. So
in the US.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
Pizza booster box, a mini pizza booster box.
Oh, I have so many ideas. You have no idea. I have a binder with all information. It's thick. I have all the cards drawn out. Each piece of paper will have 9 cards, and I just trace a card and then draw the lines. And there's obviously no art, but it's all the words. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So other than the ones that I've printed out on like cardstock,
Cool.
things like that, to be able to test play them. You know what I mean? And then cut them out hard paper, cardstock paper. But yeah, it works pretty good. I like it. I don't know. What do you think, Jesse? You played it.
No, I like it. I think it's not fair to ask my opinion because you beat me due to technicalities.
Yeah, yeah,
like
Well, it
his
was a
deck
test
had
video.
flying and my deck didn't have flying, so I
Yeah.
was just like getting my ass whipped the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, and since then,
But other
I've
than that,
evened it out. I added in
yeah.
a grappling hook.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I enjoyed messing around with it. From a collector's standpoint, I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I love collecting things. I think that's gonna be wicked.
Yeah.
And because there's so many things you can do with it, like we were talking the one day.
About the secret repair.
Yeah, you got, and then with even the new sets, you know, you got the Last Ronin.
Yeah.
You got the Power Rangers series that they did with them. Like, there's so many different things that you can continue to make more and more. So there are different variants.
Yeah.
And you can do movie style ones, like these are them from this movie and that movie.
Yeah. But like I said, if the toys, so if you remember the toys, obviously they had to like keep coming out with more and more toys, right? So they would take like them, they would be dino themed, and they'd each come with a dinosaur. They'd be beach themed or army themed, or one would be a navy one, and one would be like, an Air Force one, and one would be like the ground army one. You know what I mean? Or they all had like their heads would drop, and you'd squeeze their legs, and they pop out their shell. So there was so many different characters you could go as far as each turtle. So like making. And I didn't even do that yet with like the 50 good guys, 50 bad guys. I didn't even go off to side characters yet, you know. So
yeah, there was a bunch of different ones that they came out with that like never really took off.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's easy. I could easily come up with another 50. I feel like, you know, at least another 25. But the 300 cards, that flew. That was easy.
Oh yeah.
I haven't sat down and done it in a while, months, 3 or 4 months.
I'm waiting for my Stretch Armstrong Raphael.
Yeah, those things were the shit. Yeah, I'm very excited. I still want to do more test play, more test play, just to make sure it's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want more people to test play it that I haven't got to test play it yet, for more opinions. You know what I mean? Instead of just the same people over and over.
That's the big key right now, is printing more and more decks out, getting them set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go to a Collecticon and get a little booth and just see what people think. Just go there and just see what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, try to sell anything. Just bring a bunch of decks and cost you $350 to get a table.
Yeah. I've had thoughts for like the products, like the artwork for the boxes, like you said, a booster box looking like a pizza box, things like
or
that.
A sewer drain or something. Sewer top would be cool.
Yeah, there's
that would be like the hot box.
Yeah.
You could go far with it. Exactly. Like Canopy's, they did an amazing job with their products.
Yeah, dude, the wooden boxes.
So I mentioned a wooden box at Orlando Collecticon 2 years ago when At was with them, or I think it was a year and a half ago. But I was like, I want a sweet wooden stash box with a little tray that pulls out that you have a little stash in there. You have maybe like a little put your lighter in there. It just has everything, and you have your deck in there to play. And it's like a nice like mahogany carved box.
Sick.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
And then they came out with those. I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought they did an amazing job of seeing all their product that Jesse has.
I still have
black and white. Like, I don't think has anybody else ever touched black and white cards?
No, outside of like maybe a Disney collab because of Steamboat Willie.
Those cards. I love those cards when you get them like a little bit of color doodled on them. It looks nasty. That was a great idea.
I still have one of every sealed product from the first edition.
Nice.
I
You
said,
have a hot box and a stash?
yeah.
So you know that they just announced that there's a God hot box out there somewhere. Or no, God hot box.
Yeah, see, that's that, and someone said something about a secret rare was like one of the secret rares was for sure in a booster.
Yeah, so there's a gold, silver, and bronze, and then there's a 1-of-1 dab rig. Like I don't know if it's like
Nice.
redemption or something.
Yes, let's go.
So it's made me want to open them up, but at the same time, I'm like,
I know.
I would kill for the 1-of-1 dab rig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen do you own a glass card?
no. I know you got a couple.
I got 4 of the 5, and nobody has surfaced for that 5th one. But nobody really. So that's when people were like, "We don't believe in Cannabeast. He's going to steal the money and run away." So nobody had $420 to spend on it either, extra as an add-on, and not even have a clue what it looked like or what characters they were going to be. But I was like, I know Phil. I know it's going to be super high quality. And it's going to be cool as fuck. And then he announced after the fact that it was Long Island Glass Company, which is a decent glass company if you look them up. And yeah, when they came in, I was like, fucking awesome. And that's another cool idea, like glass cards. Like that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's never been done. Maybe somewhere in sports.
Sports, they did it at one point in time. I heard of it. I have never seen it, but yeah, still, that's what I love about it. Like shit that's never been done before.
And if he ever wants to do another glass type collab, I got a company that they do amazing work. I'm good friends with the owner, and they're not even like necessarily stationed around here. Just the owner grew up around here.
Yeah.
It's Two Kings Glass. They do like they made a bunch of ashtrays. Is it this one? Because I ended up getting no, it's not this one. It's that one over there. They did. Snoop Dogg has a little club type thing called, what is it? Blunt Dog. It's the Blunt Dog Club. And I got an ashtray of it before Snoop even got his shipment of ashtrays.
So I was watching a YouTube. What's his show? It's not Hotbox, and that's Mike Tyson, but there's another one with Snoop. So, anyways, they were talking about the ashtrays. They were talking about something else that maybe it was a lighter or something that there was only
glass sword.
A what?
The glass sword.
Maybe there was like 3 or 4 prototypes out there, and that was it.
Yeah, he makes glass swords. He does stuff for he did stuff with Megadeth and like just all kinds of crazy rock bands, and he goes and films them and does their photography.
Yeah, that's sweet.
He even made glass I think they were espresso machine filters, the little filter things.
Yeah.
He like made glass ones and was going around. I forget what band it was. Some band, I think it might have been Slayer, as crazy as it sounds. Someone was there, part of a coffee, or they hired a coffee company to like go on tour with them pretty much and like make sure every place had that coffee and this and that. And dude was with them with his glass coffee filters. So like
that's wild.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff with all kinds of people. But yeah, he made this other ashtray too. It's just not the Snoop Dogg one. That's for a local grower that we know.
That reminds me, I'm going to Tool. It's tomorrow night. Have you ever been to a Tool concert?
That's pretty sick.
Actually, one time, but it was inadvertently. I didn't even know that I liked Tool yet, but I used to go to all the Korn Family Values tours in Burgettstown.
So I went to my first one like 4 years ago in Boston, Mass. And we took, I don't know, we took it. I like the chocolate mushrooms, the chocolate bar mushrooms,
Mm.
like microdosing. Like I'll eat a square.
I can't do shrooms, but I can do acid.
Really? Yeah. Some people just can't. I love I think mushrooms and Molly mixed together is fucking amazing.
When I was younger, I used to enjoy Molly. I tried it now that I'm a little older, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like,
Really?
yeah, I can't do this no more.
I haven't had it in my 30s.
I can do it as an old as being older now, but I never really messed with it before. But my first time I went to a Tool show, so their shows, the light show is crazy. There's like this huge 3D, the big Tool guy like walking
Yeah.
like on top of you.
Oh, man.
I've been to 3 of them since, and they're gonna be 25 minutes from me. So me and my buddy are going tomorrow night.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's a fucking show to go see. It's cool. Like I like all types of music, but I never knew I would like Tool until I went to one. One of my buddies got tickets, and he's like, they were floor seats. They're incredible tickets. It's pretty hard to get tickets to Tool.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. It was 4 shows later, 4 more concerts later. I'm going to all of them now. I see. Pretty sweet.
Hell yeah. So what before we sign out of here, what is some stuff that you're excited for coming up in the TCG world?
So I'm excited to stop all the baloney about MetaZoo going on right now in the cryptid, the new set, the KCC set, Cryptid Chromie set.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for that.
That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that.
I got 6 boxes coming in.
Awesome. Did you get the double boxes that were
Yeah.
live?
Yeah, I got one of those, and then I got 4 to rip, and then I'm gonna keep that sealed.
Nice. Yeah, I got like 80 boxes coming in. It was hard to get a lot of it.
Oh yeah, imagine.
I got blisters and stuff like that too. So I don't know. You're in my core streams once
Yeah.
in a while. So it's still a small community, but
I got that new Echoes of something to be coming up.
Echoes kick. Did you do Kickstarter?
No.
So the Kickstarter was only it was print to order. It was 353 boxes. That's it. And it was literally just like, it wasn't a money grab or anything like that. It was just a celebration of their 2 years.
Mhm.
So it's a very special set. So that's going to be coming Christmas, early January. Like,
Yeah, I'd rather get mine from you.
I'll have I'll put one aside. I don't have many.
You're not gonna be streaming them.
No, I will. I personally will only have, because there was no allocations or anything. It was literally, you had to go through Kickstarter. Even me, like I go direct through them, and I get as much as I want. So I think I have 15 boxes, and that was it. You can only max it out at 12. That was it, and I got a couple extras added on. So that's really cool. The core set's going to drop December 15th or 14th, and their quality is outstanding. Their artwork outstanding. Like, they're doing everything. It's just we're in a bad time right now. It's slow for everything, I feel. And they kind of killed the eBay set, kind of killed the core set for Trials of Akithia. And that's the only problem they had. That was it. If that didn't happen, it would have been way better than it was.
Yeah, I think they could have possibly spaced out the timing on release more.
So their whole collab with eBay was like, it happened fast, and they kind of had to say, like, agree to it and say, yes, let's do it. And everything's always like 2 sets in production before it even happens. So like right now they're working on 2 sets after Echoes.
Yeah.
So it's tough to kind of nail down. They'll get the hang of it. They're still new. It's only been 2 years.
Oh yeah, most definitely. They still have, they've already made more than enough good publicity and good everything else that they can afford 1 or 2 hiccups figuring out exactly what they should be doing.
They're still here. That's the most important thing. They're still here through the good and the bad. So I'm excited for that to come out, and they have a lot of really cool stuff that I can't even talk about. coming out after that. Like there's a lot of really. I talked to Exion, the owner, often. He's a really cool guy, and their head of operations, Poke Breaks. He's an awesome guy too. So I'm excited for that stuff. Cannabis, I kind of knew about it for the past 3 weeks, but they just announced the Tsunami set coming out.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
He came on my stream the other night and kind of talked about it openly, and I was like, I've been kind of slipping up about talking about it, but I've kind of backed off on it because I didn't think anybody else knew about it. And yeah, that's going to be a game changer for them. They're already doing amazing, but that's going to be a game changer. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of it'll be really interesting to see who is still here after quarter one of next year, 2024.
That's what I was gonna say. Is we're probably gonna see the major swingers and the major players still alive by spring.
Yeah, you're gonna see some of them drowned out and some of them survive, and I believe MetaZoo, Cannabis, Sakura will still be here.
Yeah, I think holiday season is gonna be a major one.
You think MetaZoo will come out with another Christmas set this year?
So we're waiting on Legacy. War, I don't even expect War to come.
This year? No.
I mean, I hope we get Legacy this year, but I don't think Christmas. I don't think so.
I don't either.
Yeah, there's just a lot that we're still.
Disclosure 2.0 we should have very soon.
Yeah, we should.
Kuromi set, Southern Hobby says it's on its way.
Yeah, but did you see Argos put up a video today saying that there's a small delay? Now it's supposed to be the end of this month.
End of this month?
Yep. I was watching. His video just started tonight at 9.
Yeah, we watched it right before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go check that out. Yeah, so I won't say anything to any of my customers until I hear Southern has an actual tracking number and it's days away.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, and streamer kits. We're going on like 9 months.
Yeah, so I didn't do streamer kits because I
had
usually
to.
get LGS kits and stuff, and
they have the playmat. I had to.
Yeah. And then we have the 30th. What is it? The 30th celebration.
Yeah.
That's still
the Naftina stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's I feel it's gonna all drop right around the same time.
30 year anniversary.
30 year anniversary, yeah.
Yeah, 30th was the Pokemon Magic.
Oh yeah. Disclosure 2.0 should be here soon.
Yeah, I haven't got it.
Fan art should be here very soon.
Yeah, we opened that. It's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you have so I didn't get it through my partner account. I got it through Southern Hobby. Southern Hobby doesn't have it yet. So
I got it straight through.
Yeah, we got it.
How'd you get it?
I got mine through him.
Yeah. MetaZoo sent it to me in the mail.
Yeah, he must have bought it directly through MetaZoo.
Got it off of the marketplace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably have mine next week. Oh shit, that's been being streamed? I didn't even notice that.
I posted a video on YouTube.
I bought like 2 packs from someone else. I can't remember who.
Yeah, I opened up 4 in a video.
Cool. I have a bunch of that coming. Bunch of disclosure.
I got exactly what I wanted. I'm very excited for new disclosure. The first set was so good.
Yeah, and I didn't get it. I meant some of the small sets. I kind of after Hero Quest 2.0. I just kind of picked and chose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as a partner, you have to buy a lot of stuff in advance, and it gets expensive. And as everything with all the TCGs I've been doing, it gets very expensive, and that's another reason why I'm kind of scaling down and picking my core TCGs to deal with. So
yeah,
I can grab everything. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up all over the place. It's very exciting.
Hell yeah. Well, before we sign off, do me a favor, let everybody know where they can find you and what's going on.
So I'm E&Awarehouse everywhere. I try to keep the same name everywhere. So Amazon, Poshmark, eBay Live, whatnot, obviously. And I've got my own website, eandawarehouse.com, but I need somebody to work on it. It's very basic right now. It's something I'm not a. You laughed at me asking if I should do it on my laptop, the show here, or my phone. Like, I'm not a big tech guy. I never had an Instagram before Whatnot. Never had a Facebook in my life, and editing videos, stuff like that is not my strong suit.
I'm
So
pretty much the same way. The
yes,
only reason I'm good with the computer is games.
right. But yeah, you can find me everywhere. E&A Warehouse, Instagram, everywhere. I try to keep the same name on every platform, so you guys can find me. If you could send me a link to post this show or clip or whatever after you clip it and everything,
Yeah.
I'll blast it everywhere. So
Oh, yeah. Well, as
Awesome.
soon as we hit end stream, it's gonna be uploaded to the YouTube. So
cool. Okay.
and hey, we appreciate you coming in and talking with us.
Anytime. 2 hours went by quick. That was
And,
awesome. I could talk to you guys all night.
that's this Whatnot streamer series I've been doing. It's been awesome. I had Zard last week and you this week, and these
Cool.
conversations have just been flying, and I've been enjoying it. And because not only I love watching you guys stream, I'm always in there kicking it.
Oh yeah.
Now we get to have conversations that's not semi-monitored by Whatnot. Like this is
right. When I have my new stream room, I hope to have it set up and ready to go by the end of the month. Then I'll come back on whenever you want.
Oh, most definitely.
Down, so
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
nice meeting both of you guys.
Yeah, you too,
Hey,
man.
same. And for everybody watching at home, we'll see you guys next week. I'll have something else cooked up for you guys, and we'll catch y'all later.
Sweet. Thank you.